Okay, this is a quick and short PD regarding the MiniLab Turbo Technologies gas turbine engine that we will use in term 2. The first thing we have to do is open the back panel, which is located at the back of the simulator. In this case, the back panel has been completely removed. Most of the campuses will have a back panel which needs to be removed from these screws. That will give you access to the oil reservoir and the fuel reservoir. The first thing teachers need to do is to drain it from all the old oil. So here's the drain plug for the oil reservoir, and the same thing for the fuel, which is located at the back there. This is also accessible from the side panel. If you want to remove the side panel, you can easily drain the fuel reservoir. The quantity of oil required is 3.8 liters. And the quantity of fuel, maximum amount of fuel, is 26.5 liters. The fuel, the amount that you should put is based on how much is required for the intended run. The oil has to be put as 3.8 regardless when running the simulator. The type of oil you can use is Jet A, but you can also use diesel, which you can purchase from any ADNOC station, just regular diesel, and the simulator will run as normal. The type of oil, which I'll show you now. This is the recommended oil that you have to use. So it's the Aeroshell 500 synthetic oil, and this is the code, the same one that's given in the manual. 3.8 liters, which is approximately 3.5 to 4 bottles of this. Once the oil and the fuel has been put inside the simulator, most of the campuses will have the master switch here, but we don't have the key. So what we recommend is that you remove the 3 screws holding this panel down, and underneath this panel you can get access to the switch itself. Unplug it from the key, the lock, and you can put a manual switch. In this case, the person has put for me a switch here which will function the simulator. You can put any type of switch, doesn't have to be this one. Once that's complete, you can put the screws back. Next we have the hush kit, one for the inlet, one for the exhaust. These are to be installed if you want a quiet operation because the simulator is very loud. Okay, next we need to make sure there is a supply of air pressure, which is to be connected at the back in this location. So in this case, we are using a portable heavy-duty compressor here, which provides us between 100 to 120 psi. In this case, because we already did a run this morning, it's a little bit down, but that's fine. Most of the workshops already have a supply of pressured air, which I will show you now. Here we have a air compressor system. We have 3 outlets for it, but unfortunately our system is not working, and that's why we are using the portable compressor. Now to begin a test run, first and foremost you need safety, and we'll begin by switching on the machine. Wait until it reads 0. The exhaust gas temperature is should be ambient if you did not run the simulator, but because we did a test run, it's reading 61, and the turbine inlet temperature is already having a reading of 97, again because we did a test run. But as you started at the beginning, it should be ambient. Whatever temperature in the room is, it will read here. Make sure the screen is also functioning correctly, and it says RDY, which means ready. You can also test the throttle by putting it all the way to the top, and this should say caution throttle position, meaning it's functioning correctly. For health and safety reasons, make sure you always have a fire extinguisher next to you ready. Before the test run, turn on the supply from the compressor. You will now have a reading of the air pressure gauge. And before we press start, the air compressor will run the compressor of the engine itself. Once it reaches a certain RPM of about 40 to 50,000, you'll see flames coming out of the exhaust, meaning the combustion has started, and then you have to turn off the supply of the air pressure and allow the engine to run by itself, which we will do now. Now we will do a test run of the turbine engine. You may have a false start at the beginning. That's completely normal at this stage. What you need to do if you get the false start is to switch off the simulator, switch it back on again to restart the system, ensure that the supply of pressure is returned, and then try it again. In this case, the turbine engine has stopped functioning because of low fuel. We put 10 liters of diesel inside the engine. If this happens, you need to turn everything off, wait for it to cool down, and fill it up with fuel again for the next run. If the fuel was sufficient and you finish the run, make sure to put the throttle back at minimum power and press stop. The final thing is to collect the data. So here you'll be provided with a data cable. You connect it to the simulator and a USB to connect to your laptop. Install the software on your laptop and you'll be able to create graphs and data and tables from the simulator itself. In this case, the PED will not include this instruction, but hopefully in the next one it will.